democratic politics, this is, I mean, forgive me for a moment, but this is about the very nature of the frequency of consciousness we're living on. When I was getting on an aeroplane to F right off to Canada to be in a film, leaving a broken country in my wake, like travelling through the airport, you realise what a synthetic environment it is, and there's a, like, you know, sort of, it's designed to be robotic and anodyne and sanitized, and there's adverts for products you don't know what they are. There's a thing called Accenture, empower your dynamic, dynamize your power, Accenture, and it's sort of thought like, well, this is the experience of being human is utterly removed, and you feel somewhat that here in Vancouver, like it's this synthetically beautiful place. It sort of has skyscrapers and towers and neat streets and well-trimmed pubic gardens, but there's sort of an odd sort of sense of plasticity, like there's you're going to find some dungeon somewhere with 1,000 fritzels all trussed up, you know, like like whether it's electoral politics or airports or whole cities, humanity is being stripped away. There's no sort of real way of interfacing, of integrating, that it's like it's becoming this peculiar package to be a human in the modern world.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. I was drinking some water.
Well, at least drink it with a bit of gusto. Swig it down from a fucking flagon.
I know, I wish I had a flagon. No, I agree with you. I think I did notice that the politicians, when they go, I've resigned, you go, I should have used that personality 2 days ago when you sounded like an automaton. That was a nice personality. Yeah.
Hello, and yes, we will. And under no circumstances will we. And then afterwards, oh, bloody hell, that's old bollocks.
But what about that bit when they're on the telly and then someone asks them a question in the sort of debates, and they've been media trained to say the person's name back to them and then remember their name and say it a few times and maybe say it at the end, and it's just like so fake, because you wouldn't go, that's a really good question, David. And just to answer David, and you just think they're like, it becomes plasticky and not human. You go, and something in you just goes, oh, I don't like this person, don't trust them. All their media training's wrong, I think. I did like your interview.
Good point, Matt.
Forces Miliband to actually talk like a normal person at points, although he did veer into putting on a Cockney accent, some people said, didn't they? But then he's from North London.
It's like you know, when an air hostess says goodbye to you when you get off a plane. It's that kind of sort of
they don't
weird
mean it.
Greeting,
yeah. That's just the last
don't
bit.
mean it's only goodbye.
No, but they're not like
they're saying I love you. Here's my address.
When you get on,
hold my earring in the palm of your hand as a keepsake.
Yeah, but we're normal people who don't end
up
shagging after air hostesses.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't mean it to us.
I'll see you in the jacuzzi, girls.
Bring your uniform. You know the score.
Because I don't want to. Don't you dare turn up in some velour tracksuit where you're unidentifiable as the woman I've been fantasizing about for the last 6 hours. That'd be bloody awful. Yeah, well, like that's what I feel. Is that a need for reality? I sort of sense, like, you know, in every area, like now, some people say that, Russ isn't the best feminist that's ever lived. Those people are fools and floozies. Because what I would say is that, you know, we live in a time where women are stripped back and pared back and plucked and perfumed and sort of turned into sort of upright mannequins, at least the sort of the versions you see in
the
mainstream
ones that you
media.
Around your house.
If you don't look like that, you won't get past Juan on security. The problem, but I felt like in our not so ancient mind, but, you know, just not so modern and acculturated minds, women would have been, like men too, I suppose, more musky, hairy, simian creatures. There's this bit of writing by Ted Hughes where he talks about wild boars and like the sort of the ravenous carnality of the wild boar, and how in pagan societies it was seen as an emblem of femininity, with their fleshy jowls and mouths hanging open, sort of sometimes devouring their
wild
piglets.
boars were seen as women,
like an emblem, like say how the cow in India is sacred because of its divine mother aspect, you know, gives nurture, gives milk and all that, and like, you know, a lion and a unicorn somehow seems to represent something about Britain, all slapped up on a podium. Well, the wild boar, never lose there, wild boar, used to, like, apparently in pagan myth, there were these creatures, you know, we hunted them out of existence, but they were sort of quite powerful, grunting little savages. And there's don't you think, you know, there's an aspect of femininity that I don't think is culturally represented, that is quite carnivorous and powerful, you know, that sort of women sort of aren't allowed to be. I used to know this girl was a hippie and she didn't shave her legs, and that alone... He's getting there.
Yeah. was, well, it seemed quite It's quite. Their legs are as hairy as men's. Some of them, most of them. It's just like you don't end up seeing women's leg hair, do you?
Yeah.
So,
I don't know what to say. I'd like to talk to some sort of feminist theorist to sort of explain why women are forced to or encouraged to subjugate their own animalism, their own femininity, to turn themselves.
What, by men, do you mean,
yeah.
or just by society?
Maybe by culture. I mean, I suppose
like the
where
Egyptians, and there's loads of old cultures that women, practice sort of beauty, like makeup and wigs and stuff.
I agree
like
with that. But tell you what, there aren't many examples of, Matthew. Anywhere in human history, there are not there are not examples of many examples of major civilizations that are dominated by matriarchy. On a tribal level, you can find matrilineal societies, where inheritance happens through the matriarchal line, but that's more of a practical thing because you can't prove who a father is and you can prove who a mother is. But like there's examples of Boadicea or Cleopatra or Victoria or Elizabeth, these sort of near pagan feminine goddesses or leaders are the exception.
Have you got a woman
with
you?
Exactly.
I'd like you to talk to Rita.
He's trying to get laid.
Russell's changed now. He's so enlightened, and that's why. Do I sound like I'm trying to impress a bird?
You do, and because I heard you go, put those headphones on or you won't hear anything I say at the beginning. So who's with you? It's not Nicolas Cage.
I'm getting married, guys!
You are after this speech.
This time, it's Rita Ora! Or one.
Is there a woman with you?
There's not. Look, how dare you talk to me? Me, old Russ, one of the finest dabblers
the world's
in electoral...
newest feminist.
Introducing the world.
But Matt, is there not an oppressive regime on women, just like this one here with big boobs I'm trying to have sex with? This poor cow. I mean cow, not holy cow. India. I mean, was it Gandhi who said? What's going on over there?
Look, maybe, baby, I'm trying to evolve, and there could be more reasons for that than Captain Dickaboo and his couple of chumps that back him up morning, noon and night. Maybe old Russ has got sick of towing the line for the patriarchal order just because of old Reverend Bobbins and the couple of chumps, his gang, his grizzly gang, his sperm sack hunchback hoods.
Here we go.
Look, I'm trying to evolve over here. That's all I'm saying, Matt. That's all I've ever been saying.
What are you doing? What's
What do you
Nicolas Cage saying these days? What's he up to?
Get on all right with Nicolas Cage. He gave me a lovely thing. He gave me this amulet. It's a Ganesh amulet. I'm holding it in my hands now. It's the size of, say, the tip of a man's finger. It's a sort of, I think it's amethyst or something. It's some sort of purple stone, and there's a ruby in it. And Nick Cage gave me it as a gift. And I'm getting on quite well with Nick Cage. Yeah, I sit next to him in movie making. But that was funny because I was doing some movie making yesterday, acting, and like Nick Cage, he's seriously professional. He knows all of his lines. He's got a wig on. He's deep in character. And like me, obviously, I'm in the caravan just before I go on, like desperately trying to cram some lines in my head, knowing that Larry Charles. Trailer. Yeah, no, like that. Larry Charles, because he directs Curb Your Enthusiasm and things like that, he's obviously well up for the improvisation. So I just try and remember the cue lines, so that I don't mess up Nick Cage's cues because he learns all his lines. But sometimes I can't even remember those bits. And we're doing a film we're doing a scene in a bar yesterday in Vancouver. And Nick Cage, he's well in character. He's playing this guy that went over called Gary Faulkner, who went over to Pakistan to try and capture Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
And he's doing him kind of like this. It's a real, oh God, man. He's sort of really sort of into it. It's sort of comic and intense, but and he cries a lot. It's an amazing performance. But during the scene, there's a couple of times where I sort of forget my bits, and he's really going for it, and I'm just sort of and there's always a split second where I think, oh no, shit, I can't remember what I'm supposed to be saying here. And look at Nick Cage, he's acting his heart out, so I have to go line like that across the set. And Gareth, who's here with us, who I do the trues with and stuff, he goes, it's really bad because while I go line and the script supervisor goes, look, Gary, the world is more complex than you could ever imagine, or whatever, my line is, or whatever. And Nick Cage has to sort of maintain his intense, sort of sobbing acting face during this piece of activity that's nothing to do with the pretend world that we're supposed to be complicitly inhabiting.
Learn your bloody lines.
I can't be bothered. It's too hard. It's too hard to remember them all.
I don't think. How many times can you shout "line" before you can see
people start thinking,
hang on, this
He's a
bloke hasn't
pissed.
learned his lines.
I say 3 times in a scene, then it starts to like we could just literally get anyone off the street to do this. That'd be as good as what this guy's offering, and they probably wouldn't be so demanding about having fruit in the caravan. Outside my window, where I'm staying at this hotel in Vancouver, there's like an inaccessible garden. I'm on the 2nd floor, and there's a massive, like, what it is you know how there's like an awning over. It's a very grand Gothic-looking hotel. You know, like the roof's all like sort of green turrets. You know when sort of copper's gone green.
I like that, yeah. What's it called?
Like that. So it's massive, bloody
Verdigris,
Vancouver hotel.
Verdigris.
What's it called?
Verdigris.
Verdigris.
Which means
That don't sound
greeny
right to
grey,
me,
I
mate.
think, in Italian, probably.
So anyway, like there's on the top of the awning bit, there's a vast sort of expanse with a simulacrum of a garden. Like, you can't get to it though. You can't, like, there's no doorway to it, and all of the windows, as is often the case in hotels, are ratcheted so that you can only get them open 6 inches. And God knows I've tried.
What, is
to
it
force
real
it
grass
open.
out there?
It's not real grass. It's sort of like molten rock. No, not molten, but like lavic rock. You know, like
Right,
you know that
yeah,
stuff
I
that's
know.
porous.
Yeah, like
loads of that.
barbecue rocks, like, yeah.
It's like barbecue rocks, which there's a new song that Matt and I are going to be releasing in the summer. It's like Jazzy Jeff and Will Prince, barbecue rocks, baby. And like, you know, and there's a sort of a... there's a...
Just let
I
it
don't
go.
know what he's doing. Who cares? Them are the old days. Jazzy Jeff and Will Prince. Now Will Prince. I see you've done a couple of new yous, a boy you and a girl you. And what do they want from us?
Have
Lovely
you read
stuff.
their interviews, the kids from Will Smith's marriage to Jada Smith?
Jada Pinkett.
Pinkett, yeah.
Why?
They're crazy, the two kids. They're
So professional.
No, they're like weird.
They're out there.
They're out
What do you
there,
mean?
man. Well, you'd love their
What are they
shit.
saying?
Talking about the nature of reality and stuff. Honestly.
Honestly, little kids talking about the nature of reality.
Yeah, I mean, they're like 8 and 11 or something, but there was a famous, like, it went a bit sort of viral. They did an interview for the New York Times, I think it was, and it's bizarre. It's really weird. We'll get it, and I'll read you some quotes. You'll be well into
Do you
their
think
stuff.
they're Illuminati? Do you think they've been initiated into the Illuminati and have got access to realms of information that they shouldn't have?
No, I think they're precocious children.
Why don't you do a jingle? Why don't you do an
play
electronic
this?
rap jingle by Skelly Scribbles?
I think you should listen to that when you do your city runs. Let's have it again. There you go. There we go. Let's get into that hidden garden. It's
Good.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
I love it. It's really good. It's really very impressive, that. Do the other one. There's Vivaldi, 4 Seasons from Doom Baboon.